Back to We Are Tottenham TV. Now for the instant match reaction, and then we'll go into the fan call-in. So yeah, what was your... You're now, that's it. You're in now. You got to stay here. You can't even leave the building. We're not going to leave Sarah. Sarah's not going to leave the building.
Lucky charm on my debut, a 1-1. Who would have thought? Who would have thought of all those
every
games?
Game now.
Look, of all those past 6 games on the bounce we've lost, and who would have thought Liverpool would be the one that we'd end up drawing?
Yeah.
I think people would have hedged their bets on us losing this and getting a point from Forest. But there you go. It just shows that the team have fight and they are playing for the manager. So,
what do you think about the whole game plan and the way we set up? Was it like, was the manager, was it the players just kind of going, let's do it, or was it the manager set them up well and they kind of felt like a little bit of confidence in that structure?
No, I just think that they had to give their all today, and look, they could have done it 4 at the back, but realistically he went with what he had available. And you could look at it that Sarr and Gray played in the same positions that they played midweek. And maybe for all the defensive errors that they did in that game, this game showed that they learnt from the last game, which does in and of itself show an improvement.
Yeah.
Because I think most of us would have thought going into that, we would have been 5-0 down by half time. So I don't think you can blame Tudor for the formation, but in the end of the day, it worked. So I don't know, how do you feel about the formation?
I was actually quite surprised. I thought that was one of the big positives that I thought, because I genuinely thought we were going to be like a few goals down. And granted, I know this Liverpool team is not this is not Liverpool of previous years. They've got a lot of holes, but I thought we were solid. The shapes we took up, I thought it was very solid. We protected the spaces. They're obviously nervous. You can see that in every single moment. But they held strong on very important times in the game. So I thought, if you're not going to give him credit for that, then I don't think you understand management, because he's clearly trained them and drilled them. As soon as he had to change the formation, all of a sudden it kind of went shaky. That tells you that they were so strong in their kind of core position that they took. So, and once you're in a strong positioning from defence, it looked like we actually didn't look bad on the break. How many chances have we had in that game? Yeah. We've had a lot of chances in that game.
Yeah, and also, I mean, fair play to Sousa for, was it his second debut in a Spurs shirt, for coming on, for showing fight, and Grave and covering left back.
Was it his first start, or was it his second start?
I think it was his second start.
Yeah, okay,
did he start against, I can't remember where he started. He might have started.
Oh no, he started and he got took off because of the red card,
Yeah, so look, I think he did well today. They covered for each other. They were playing a bit more as a team.
He could have had a goal.
And I also think that on the flip side, obviously we're not talking about Liverpool, we're not focusing on Liverpool, but in some ways Slot probably had a bit of a mare, because Liverpool had so many shots that they did not take advantage of. Vicario saved us so many times. For all the faults and the times we've dug him out this season, he really came up trumps today, making saves, pushing that one onto the bar in the first half that could have easily set us back 2-0 by half time. And I think it would have been a very different situation if you go in at half time 2-0 down, because 1-0 down, you're still in the game. And I think that in and of itself gave them the mentality that, okay, we can go into the second half and get something out of it, And Richie leading from the front. I think Solanke was maybe a little bit quiet, probably, but maybe he was playing a bit deeper than he normally would, so it's not his ideal position either. But
he looked like he was playing second fiddle to. He looked like he was playing like in the false 9, and Richie was the 9. He looked like,
which we've done a couple of times.
To be fair, it kind of had effect, because Richie got on and got loads of shots.
Every game so far since Tudor's been in, he's started Mawani. This was the first game he didn't start Mawani. So also fair play to him for pulling Mawani, because Mawani's had to take off at half-time in every game. I think one game he played 63 minutes. So fair play again to him for taking him off.
Yeah, coming in.
Yeah, that's true. He's part of the goal.
Getting the goal.
Yeah, shows the fight.
Do you think then, because I see that as, I think if you change the manager right now, you are going to cause further destabilization. You know, it's like, does it look like the players are not playing for this manager? Because that to me looks like they are.
No, they're fighting for it. You can see they are. You can see that. I think maybe sometimes it just takes a bit of time to click. We know that in the dressing room things have been very rocky. You know, if they did have that halftime talk or the end of the game with Solanke came out after Palace and they all had that big team talk, you know, squad talk where they were like, you know, we need to, I don't know, fix something, whatever that, whether it was a conversation or a fight in the dressing room, who knows? But, you know, in some ways, maybe it was a blessing in disguise that Mickey van der Ven didn't play this game, because if he played this game, I don't know if he would have kept his head in the same way that Dragusin did. OK, Dragusin's not our best centre-back.
Yeah.
But he made a fantastic block at the end of the game there.
Yeah, he surprised me.
Was it Salah that had a shot at the very end?
Actually,
I mean, we could have conceded,
A few times he came up. I mean, to be fair, per game, Mickey van der Ven probably makes like some sort of crazy block. And of late, Mickey van der Ven's head has gone. So I think sometimes when you have a lack of options, it gets a little easier because you don't have, who am I going to pick this week? This week he's only got them, you know?
Yeah.
And so I obviously looked at that starting lineup and I was thinking, how are we going to get through this? Like, is he going to put Spence in right centre back? Is he going to, you know? But the way he's gone with it, that lineup of players, having Sousa in left side, no, he had him. Where did he have him? On right side of midfield.
Yeah.
You know, and what looked like a kind of a 3-4, was it 3-4-3 or
3-4-2-1 maybe?
Yeah, 3-4-2-1. At times it looked like a 4-4-2. It looked quite fluid. I thought the manager did good today. I thought the players fought. I don't know what your thoughts on Richarlison, because I thought, wow. I mean, some people would say he's got to be scoring it. He's got to be scoring it. He's got to be scoring that. But most strikers, when they miss a chance, they go. And instead, Richarlison is fought all game long. He's played 95 minutes there. He's fought all game long, and he's got his goal. Like, so happy for the guy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure why he got taken off in that last, just before the corner at the end.
Yeah, he got taken off in the 94th
But
minute.
maybe he looked like he was injured or something happened. I'm not sure.
I hope he's not, because that might be...
But look, it turned out, because from that corner, Liverpool had the counter, and maybe if Richie was on the pitch and he didn't have the legs, who was it that came on?
Was it Rosewell?
So he managed to get back, which enabled Dragusin to keep in position to make that block at the very end. If Richie's on the pitch, you probably don't have those extra legs, and then you probably maybe speculatively you could have conceded a goal at the end. So arguably that could have been a good sub in the moment at the time. So
do you think keep Igor?
Look, I'm seeing people in the chat saying you want Tudor gone. If that's the case, guys, write in the chat, who would you want him gone for? Because I think any manager you bring in now, you have a decimated squad because of injuries, at least until after the international break. And because no one is unified on who the manager should be, as we said before this, who you're going to bring in at the moment is going to be a makeshift, which is going to be another change of style, another few games to get into that style.
Yeah, and we don't have that time.
And now that if this can get them into rhythm, I think you give them the Forest game, because then you've got international break. So you give them the Forest game, and then you see if they're starting to click, if they can get something out of that game, then it's a no-brainer. You keep them till the end. Because look, I know some of you people are calling for us to be here for the Madrid game, but I'm going to the Atleti Madrid game. So, but I think, look, that game's a throwaway game at this point. You're going into that 3-0. You're going into that 3-0 down. You've got to prioritise.
If you think about that, like the moment, the 15, 16 minutes of madness, obviously 3 mistakes.
Yeah.
The rest of that game is 2-2.
Yeah.
Like in our worst moment against Madrid, who's got a really good team, 2-2. If we don't literally slip, and their pitch, everyone is now seeing their pitch is horrifying. Yeah. If we don't slip in those 3 mistakes, that's a 2-2 game. We win the second half 2-1. Yeah. It's kind of a bit crazy. I feel like, you know, you can't say Igor.
Anything's possible.
Yeah. I think if you were going to bring him in, I don't think now you can just cut the legs of the team away. you know, and say, all right, well, he's drilled you to play this good in this moment against Liverpool. Unless they're saying Liverpool are just dreadful, right? Which they're not. They're clearly a good team.
Well, they didn't have their best game today. They will be kicking themselves.
Yeah.
They will be kicking. What do you think of their first goal, the free kick? Soft or
I don't think it's a free kick, but again, those things are always going to go against you. They're always going to go against you in a relegation battle. Then I also do think I get really annoyed when goalkeepers don't account for, you know, when you have your players and then they put two players in as a screen, and then he stands either side of that, because obviously they're just going to move straight away. So I kind of think he should ignore their screen so he can see the ball. If it's coming over one of our players' heads, he can see it a little bit quicker. I think he sees it late because he's a little bit too far that way. So I think he's probably positioning wise not had a great one there. But I have to see it again, because I think I saw the second time in slow motion. It looked really bad. Because it looked like he kicked it and then he was like, oh God, and he dived like really late. But that may just be slow motion.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it was.
I don't think Vicario's strength is in setting walls or kind of talking and stuff like that. His strength is in making like world-class saves every now and then.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, fair,
And he
you
did
know.
make a few of them.
I was going to say, yeah, Szoboszlai had after we conceded that free kick, I think he had two more within another 15 minutes.
Well, that's the big thing. In a relegation battle, you've got players who are making silly fouls. Not the one that led to the goal, but that's an example of don't give free kicks away there. They were crowding in. You're going to make the player make a mistake. Crowd in, but don't leave your leg in. You know, it's like that classic thing of like, just do not make mistakes around your box. Don't give away silly free kicks. And I don't know what the stats are, but at halftime you were saying it was 7 free kicks. We kill managers. Like, you are literally killing the manager if you're going to get... He's screaming, don't make mistakes, you know. Do not give away free kicks around your box. We've done it. We should have won that game. I absolutely think we should have won that game. I think we should have won that game maybe... You know, obviously, we've made some saves or whatever. They've been kind of bad at their finishing, but I think we should have won that game.
So Liverpool had 17 shots, 7 off target, 4 on target. Spurs had 13 shots, 7 on target, 3 off target. So we actually had...
How many free kicks did we give away?
We actually had more shots on target than them. Free kicks...
Because that's the thing. When you're in a battle like this, you got to do it a little bit cleaner.
They actually made more saves than us. I'm not sure about the free kicks.
I thought Alisson... I thought he saved them as well. But that's one of my big takeaways is that this team, I know they're struggling and they're lacking confidence, and they'll kind of like put a leg in because they're gassing out, you know. But I think that's the thing. It's like once you get a little bit more confidence, you stop making those silly free kicks.
Yeah, I mean our XG was 1.18, theirs was 1.67. So look, we had more throw-ins than them. We had more more crosses as well. They obviously had more touches in the box, but that was kind of expected. We played very defensive, sitting back at times.
And some of our players can cross the ball quite well, I thought, today. Like, I thought Tell and Archie Gray threw in some decent crosses. I thought Pedro Porro, again, wasn't really great with his crosses today. He's normally, like, the best crosser of the ball, and I thought he was... I thought Spence was better at crossing today.
Who's that, Porro?
Porro was...
But he was playing very deep. Porro. He was
still,
playing
I just think
line,
he's pulling the ball instead of like doing that swerve, you know.
Towards the end,
like a lot of his crosses were coming in from the same place that Szoboszlai's crosses were coming in for Liverpool, but Szoboszlai was like right into the danger zone.
I mean, the last kick of the game was last 5 minutes in that extra time. I think Porro came into the box and he was set up perfectly, and he just like did this very poor, weird pass.
Yeah.
And last game against Atleti, that's how he scored.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, look, that's our 2 cents on it. Should we go into